The automotive repair industry is changing quickly, and staying ahead means constantly adapting to new technology, evolving customer expectations, and the rise of EVs and hybrids. Megan Dineff, General Manager at Ervine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV, knows firsthand what it takes to keep a shop on the cutting edge. However, it isn't just about investing in technology. It's about investing in people too. And according to Megan, it's the shops that make a real connection with their customers that truly thrive. All right, Megan, how would you sum up the state of the automotive repair industry in one sentence?
Chaotically fantastic. And I'm looking at it from my seat, which is a busy shop with people who love to do their job. So I guess that's not the entire industry. We have technicians who are highly trained and motivated, who want to learn more, and they like being at work. And we're busy, chaotic.
Yeah.
Fantastically chaotic. Like everybody just really enjoys being together. Now, the industry as a whole, I hope that's how everybody is. I know not everybody's shop is crazy busy all the time. I mean, you can't be busy all the time. Otherwise, when would you have time to clean? So you can't be busy every time. But I think that we're in a really good spot as an industry. I think that having an emphasis on training, moving towards the future, and treating our technicians well, paying them what they're worth, is a necessity, which is something that we do, but maybe more other shops need to lean into that a little bit.
Okay. Well, all right, that kind of leads into my next question here, because it sounds like that might be a problem you see with the industry, is maybe not paying what people are worth. Not trying to put words in your mouth here, but what do you think the industry is doing right, and what could it be doing better?
I think that the industry as a whole is doing a really good job focusing on the fact that we have to have technicians. We're nothing without technicians. Right. So making sure that we are taking good care of them, offering training, paying for training, and really being in the process with them, not saying, hey, you need to do these things, figure it out. That's not helpful. Let's find some training for our technicians. Let's see, what they're interested in learning, and move towards that with them. Making sure that we're paying for ASE tests, so that the technicians are, being accredited for the things that they're learning is incredibly important.
So what do you think the industry could be doing better?
I think just treating technicians like they are worthy. I don't like that, there are shop owners, and none that I know, so just if you're a shop owner and you hear this, I'm not talking about you, but that there are shop owners who don't value their technicians or talk down to them, about them. I think that's a really awful way to show kids that there's an industry waiting for them. So putting things on social media like, hey, these are the cool things that we're doing. These are awesome technicians. Shout outs on social media can do so much to bring other people in to the industry, which I think is a great thing. But, just making sure that these technicians, they're like brain surgeons. Cars are not simple. No. They are complicated. They have all different issues. They're not all the same. And having the doctors to work on those vehicles is incredibly important. So, lifting them up and making sure that they know that they're cared about, and following through on the things that we say we're going to do as employers.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of attracting people to the industry, especially given your work with, Yang and WIAC, how can we be better attracting youth and even just women to the industry? Which are probably two separate questions there, so feel free to answer them as two separate questions.
Two separate questions. I think getting women into the field, it has to be something that women know about. When you go to school for business, you don't necessarily think that you're going to go to school for automotive business,
right?
Unless that's something that is in your head. So, going to career fairs and just letting people know about us. It might not be coming into a shop, but the aftermarket as a whole. Being here today, I have found out about so many different jobs that I didn't know were a thing. So there are so many things in the automotive industry that are not working directly with cars or with the public that is a job that needs to be filled. So, I mean, job postings are a great thing, but using social media in the way that people are consuming them is important. Obviously, you can tell my job is heavy in social media because I feel like that's, a great way to reach people.
And we're going to talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. But then you also asked about getting women into, or just people into the field as a whole?
Or like even just, young people too, bringing them in.
Sure. So right now we have an apprentice, and we are kind of building an apprenticeship program. We're working with Dwayne Myers, worked alongside my parents to kind of build what we have going on, because Dwayne at Dynamic Automotive in Maryland, I'm so sorry if that's not right, has an excellent apprenticeship program, and he is taking kids from high school and teaching them what they need to know and turning them into the kind of technicians that he wants and needs to run his shops. And so we have our first apprentice, and it's incredibly important to bring them in and show them what the industry can be like. Maybe not starting at like a quick lube or something. Like, this is how a full service shop does things. My nephew is in 5th grade, and one of his classmates wrote my dad a letter not too long ago, and he's doing a project on the automotive industry. And so making sure that when kids reach out and want to learn more, making sure that we're touching base with them, because man, kids who are invested in STEM, if they want information, let's get them in, even if they're young, so we can show them what we have in the shop.
Right.
So not turning down even very question questions is incredibly important.
So I said we were going to circle back to, your position as social media here. Just shops in general with their social media, some are hits, some are misses. What tips do you have for shops related to social media and marketing in general?
I think one of the best things that you can do on social media is show people who you are. There are companies, and we have used them in the past, that will post what I call the boring things. Information about what brake pads do, or why shocks are important. Like, the things that I don't very honestly care about that much. The boring things to me. Important and nice for people to read about online. But showing who Ervine's and Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV is important to me. So group outings, when we go to training, when there's something funny happening in the shop, or on Fridays, making videos about like a sweaty Friday afternoon and everybody's silly faces. It's showing us as people, not just the edited pictures of us standing nicely together. It is a little bit of the sweaty chaos that I was talking about earlier. It's busy, it's happy, it's fun, but this is who we are as people.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yes. Yep.
Okay, absolutely. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about EVs. This is obviously in the company name here, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EVs. When did you guys, tack on this new part of the business, and how have you guys embraced EV technology over the years?
Sure. So in 2009-ish, my dad got a little bored. He's been working on cars for a long time. We've talked about that. He went to college for automotive repair, and he got a little bored in 2008, 2009, and ended up going out to Massachusetts, where there were many more hybrids, and went to a week-long school. My mom went with him, so she would learn things too, so they could come back and teach the rest of us. We did not see Priuses for quite a long time in Grand Rapids. Not a huge place for the Toyota hybrids at that time. I remember my dad being so excited one day because we had 3 Priuses in the parking lot. I have a picture of it. Like, he was so excited. And now today we have, half of our cars in our parking lot are Toyota Priuses or Lexus hybrids. And he started that because he got bored and knew there was new technology coming out, and he really embraced the new technology, and we went along for the ride with him. He's a brilliant guy, so hey, if Dad says this is what we should be doing, like, let's ride the train. So we have been working on hybrids for 10, 11, 12 plus years at this point. My technicians are all ASC hybrid certified, so I think that's the L3. And my dad helps write that test. So we are very into the hybrid EV situation. As far as EVs go, We don't see a ton of them yet. Grand Rapids, Michigan is just not huge into the EVs. And we didn't have all of the technology to properly fully work on Teslas, and that is something that we are critically supportive of, is having exactly what we need in order to fix the car. So if we're fixing a Toyota, we want to have that tech stream technology. Well, we wanted the Tesla stuff too. Even if it's for suspension work, we want to be able to do the full job and do it correctly. So now that we can do that, we're ready to take on all the EVs. We work on a good handful. The phone calls are getting more and more prevalent every day. So our guys are excited for them. I know a lot of people don't want to touch hybrids and EVs, and we are open arm embrace. We are ready for all of them.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, obviously, if now your parking lot is half full of, hybrids and EVs, I mean, it seems like that part of the market has really that's increased in profitability for you over these last few years here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is it just more market acceptance, or is there anything else you see as like driving, hey, this has become a big part of life now? Or
I think people are seeing the good part of hybrids. Like, it's not necessarily that you're trying to save the earth or anything like that. It's just kind of a really smart technology, right? Let's pay less in gas and do the same thing in our cars. EVs are a little bit harder for adaption. I mean, it's just charging cars for 4 hours isn't that much fun.
Right.
But Tesla has really kind of brought the game. And so I think like with Tesla getting so big and doing so much, that the other manufacturers that are starting to bring them in, it's getting more accepted. So
now, given perhaps some of the negative press Tesla has had recently, has that had any impact on your business at all? Or
I believe that our phone is ringing a little bit more with Tesla customers because maybe they don't want to go to the dealership. And that could be because maybe they don't support what is happening with Tesla, or they don't want to, and I don't want to speak for people, but my thought is maybe they don't want to deal if there's a protest and they have to drop their car off. I get a little bummed for those technicians that are trying to go to work and fix cars and just do their job every day and having to deal with protesters.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the right to protest. Okay, cool. But I would hate for my technicians to have to go to work and deal with protesters every day. That would be a bummer. So we're happy to help anybody who wants to come hang out with us. But I also just want people to be able to do their job.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. And so, speaking of just EVs and how things have progressed, what do you think the future of the industry looks like? And by industry, not just EV, but just the automotive repair industry in general.
I think it's going to look a lot the same for a while. I don't see EVs fully taking over. Something people were talking about a while ago was like cars driving themselves to the shop to have themselves repaired. I don't see that happening. The infrastructure, at least in West Michigan, is not there for that.
Right.
So I don't see that happening. So I think we're going to look the same for quite a while. I think we're going to keep needing our technicians, keep needing our, the highly trained technicians, the service advisors. I think we're just all going to sit pretty for a while. I really do.
You don't have to care about cars to care about the people who care for the cars. Whether she's advocating for repairers' rights and ways to bring more people into the industry, or just making sure her customers feel at home at Ervine's Auto Repair, Megan Dineff brings passion and heart into her family business. And it's this sort of take charge leadership that makes her a vehicle care rock star.
And then